Do you think that Mbappe is the now star in world football and he overcome the Messi and Ronaldo also?
I think definitely is the best talent out there with Alan and some others, but definitely from a very young age, he's 24 and already scored 300 goals. Those numbers are staggering. You can't really dispute that, and what he represents as well as a young guy, it's the capacity of having that personality, bring a lot of messages of peace and all that. So it's a brilliant talent for all those things that he brings to the football community. So it's great to have that young players who are able to really stand in terms of performances, but as well outside, trying to bring the youth believing in themselves. It's just amazing. So I'm a big admirer, and I think he was like just after the World Cup, I was already very impressed about his movement and the way that he was able to move. But yes, to anybody who are watching, you can't really copy Mbappe or Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi. You have to be yourself and just give your best. That kind of responsibility comes with your performances. So I will emphasize any youngsters to just really enjoy their football, share the emotion as those guys are capable of doing. It's just unbelievable.
In your eyes, who is the best, Messi or Ronaldo?
So I don't think it's fair to put him on the spot. Louis, you can choose not to answer that. Totally your prerogative.
Cristiano.
There we go.
First, Alex Ferguson era. What went wrong with the Manchester United? This is the first question.
Sir, I think, Louis, again, it's completely your prerogative. It has to do with the United we play. You can choose to answer it, or then we can slide.
There is a bit of values that went out with Sir Alex Ferguson legacy in terms of maybe family aspect, the aggression that he brings in the game, the charisma that he had. He went with maybe David Gill as well. Those two was very pivotal to the spirit and the foundation that those players can really enjoy on the field. So I think that's part of that. The values, the kind of confidence they had to communicate with the players, with the staff. I think something big missing now, and it has been a challenge for any manager who's been later. It's a difficult one, but yes, that's always very easy for people outside to comment and to think, oh yes, it should be this, it should be that. Even if I'm an ex-player, I don't know. I really don't know. There are so many factors that happened, and to be honest, it went that quick. I was really surprised and shocked, but that's part of the game. Sometimes you have all the reaction that you can't really explain, but at the moment of massive pressure, where 3 million people watching on TV or on the stand, you do silly things happens, but can't really say anything bad about Zidane reaction. Obviously, we all can criticize, but the guy was tremendous for the tournament and supposed to be in that final. So what can you say? I was really gutted because I couldn't be a World Cup champion, but I owe him so much. For what he gives to French people and to any fans who love football. So that was just a moment. That's history, and that will be part of his history as well. So that was a difficult moment for French people, but at the same time, as I said, you look at what he achieved during that tournament. And I never experienced that. I saw the game from very close range against Brazil, and believe me, I never see any player perform this way on that day. It was just amazing, so I was privileged to be very close. I think it's hugely important, and Remus and the way he built and developed this program is just amazing, because it attracts the right kind of energy, where you think that maybe parents sometimes are the initiator. They have to speak to the children and say, oh, you have to believe in yourself, you have to get out there and be with that kind of action, healthy approach, getting out there and doing some sport is the very important elements to start to think about maybe play one day at a certain level. It starts from the parents thinking that, oh, they have a platform, they have like maybe some kind of like, yes, a ground, infrastructure that makes sense. And this is Apollo from the start, and this is great. And for us as a player who have like maybe not understanding of all the sacrifice or all the step that some other countries have to do to pursue that dream. Where in Europe sometimes you have all the facilitation, all the kind of like infrastructure, and it seems to be easier, and that's not normal. So I think a lot of credit to Apollo Total's program and rules as they describe it. It's not a marketing campaign. There is proper development. Those guys have like really worked out in a way that it makes sense for not just the company to come together. No. It's like we do have the same vision as us. We really want to develop something. It's just not, oh yes, I want to put my brand there or brand. No, it's more. So I feel really touched to this, and I'm very pleased to be part of the journey today.
In terms of transition, it's not very clear because at the time that I felt like I was really enthusiastic, from the start about competition. I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to put myself out there and see how good and how strong I can become. That was my main goal, let's say. And then I've seen the professional aspect, the infrastructure was here, and I say, whoa, there is possibility that I hadn't imagined. Back in the days, it was possible to be naive like this. But now it's like it's out there. It's like on every TV we are talking about it. There is games every day. You can't get away with it. But my transition, and let's say where I felt like I need to be really professional and really like looking after myself, was at the time where I, let's say, signed the contract and felt really with a duty to represent my family name. So I got Saha. It's something that some Indian film affiliated as well, it seems to be. So I really felt like I had a duty to represent my family name. So it was part of me and my competition and my desire to compete at the highest level. But I never felt like I was thinking about it. It was just natural. I just like didn't feel a transition. I felt like it was naturally being given to me, and then I take it as an opportunity to represent something. And then, it builds up, because if you have that drive, you come from one step and to another, and you should never stop. Even if I'm retired now, I still have the same drive. And I think it's part of my journey. So I really look at all those opportunities to meet some players, some managers, and grow and never stop. And that's why I think it's great to have those kind of programs, because it builds up this confidence and this drive and this passion, and it needs to be organized by people who have that experience. It's simple as that, because as a kid you should remain very naive, because this passion needs to grow, and the kids still need to remain in charge in some way. I know that you can be an adult, but you have to be still that child, and that's what I think those kind of programs realize, that you need to have a proper structure, like people who have like really believe. So the partnership between Apollo and Manchester United is like maybe Manchester United has that kind of their dream, where people like, if you speak to somebody at school and say, oh, my dream is to be a football player, most of the teacher will say, stop dreaming, But I think you need those kind of partnership to say this is possible. You need to really work hard and sacrifice a lot. So I'm not going to say transition. You need to, from the start, just do your best and see how it goes.
And then it just comes naturally to you, right? Now, since you were talking about transition, we were talking about transitioning from grassroots to professional. I'm going to talk about a different kind of transition. I don't know if a lot of you know, but Aditi actually played basketball, am I right? So, and then you transitioned from basketball to football, representing the country. Now that's no small feat. What message would you have for players who are interested in multiple sports?
I think, for me, very similar to Louis, what he just said, that it was the competitive drive in me. I really enjoyed sport because it was competitive. And, fortunately for me, at an early stage, I realized that I can make it to the top level, which is representing the country in football, sooner than I could do it in basketball, and that was always the passion that drove me in sports. It was playing at the top level, coming out of your comfort zone, and really pushing your limits. And so I would just say that to the youngsters who's playing multiple sports, I think that's helped me a lot growing up, and even the skills. When you're playing multiple sports, you pick up skills and you don't even realize it. And I think that's given me a huge advantage when I chose to be a goalkeeper. My basketball skills, the hand-eye coordination, of course, the team environment, how do you play with the team, how do you get the best out of the team, and also like just the mentality of, because playing an individual sport is very, very different from playing a team sport, and that you learn, and that's something that you can apply in anything that you do in life. And that is why for me personally also it's been something that's really close to my heart, and I want more girls to be playing, to experience this, because it really like transforms your personality. It's happened with me, and that's what I want more girls in India to feel, that have that confidence, because a sport like football tests you both physically and mentally, and of course
And emotionally.
of course going through an injury, I can give vouch for that. But yeah, and especially in India, when you don't get the opportunity to choose your career, choose what you want to do, a sport like football gives you that courage, that belief in yourself, that just go for it, in whatever you're truly passionate about. And fortunately for me, I found that passion in football, and I could. It wasn't an easy journey, but I had that self-belief that I'll make it, and that child in me was always alive to keep pushing myself.
And in the end, it's always worth it, isn't it? Just